Seen some wonderful matches today. I was right out there in the thick of it for SVB Kazakis' match. The atmosphere was amazing. This looks a decent break-off.
Well, that's arguably the best break-off we've seen in the entire tournament. Look at this, the bunch of balls decimated. 9 remaining in the template, so that's in mid-table, begging to be potted, as are all the rest of the balls.
Probably go a couple of rails here to get back on the purple 5. That will do nicely.
It might not be at the end of the match, but right now it feels a little after the Lord Mayor show, following that extraordinary drama between Kazakis and SVB. And the match we commentated on, Carl, was also gripping, wasn't it? Tyler Steyer defeating Fedor Gorsht.
Yeah, Tyler Steyer booked a date with Joshua Filler in the next round, so it's not going to get easier. This 9 ball's easy. 1-0 Biado, the defending champion. He's still going strong.
Yeah, break and run out. Now let me tell you how he's got here so far, Carlo Biado. Well, it was all very easy. He played our first match on table 1 at 10 o'clock on Monday morning. He beat a tennis coach from Boca Raton, Florida, Nikolin Dalibor, 9-1. Then he overcame Christina Tkach 9-1, but then a bump in the road. Lost 9-6 to Jovan Bustamante. That sent him to the one-loss side of the draw, when he beat Hua Chia Chen 9-4, and then Petri Makinen 9-4 earlier on today. So 5 matches played, 4 victories. And the interesting thing with that is he won the tournament last year, having also been confined to the one-loss side of the draw. Right now, his racks 1 loss record, 43-4, 19 against. And the reason I say that, Naoyuki Oi's 1 lost record, 36 racks 4, only 7 against.
Cue ball has found the bucket. It's at the bottom of the pocket. That can happen with this new designed cup break that the professionals are using. We've seen a few 9 balls on the break as well. Because of this break, you can see it just comes across, didn't hit the 9 this time. But that does happen a little bit.
Marcel Lacarte having to replace the 5 ball, having removed the template. That cue ball hits the point of the middle pocket, Carl, and it would have been pretty much an action replay of the first rack. Now though, it's Oi who's got the open table, licking his lips.
Landed a little straight. Cue ball's quite close to the rail. He's down pretty quick, so he must have enough angle. Well, he has to play in the left centre. That's never an ideal scenario, but he will be fine for this to tie this match up.
All very straightforward. The only thing that prevented Carlo Biado going 2-0 ahead was that scratch on the break, and what he left was a very simple dish-up. And so, the man from Japan, Naoyuki, is back on level terms. And you get the feeling this one will be, much like our last couple of matches on Table 1, keenly contested. Naoyuki's run to this stage has been the definition of serene. He beat Matt Williamson in the first round 9-0, then Tayfun Tabor 9-1. He overcame the 2012 World Pool Masters champion Karol Skaversky 9-3 in winners qualification. And earlier today, he played Tayfun Tabor again, and this time won 9-2.
See the oi break. Is he playing for the one or the wing ball? Playing for the one. 2-ball doesn't look like it's going to be potable, so it's going to be a safety shot from Oi. Option of the push is always available after the break, but we won't be seeing that here. That only really happens usually when the players are hooked on the lowest ball.
Carl, what we will be seeing is Chris Melling in the last 16. He's just completed a very comprehensive 9-1 victory over Badr Alawadi from Kuwait. So Chris Melling is through. So too Roland Garcia. He's beaten Wojciech Szewczyk 9-6. They move on into the penultimate day of competition tomorrow, together with Mario He, who's defeated Mustafa Alma from Turkey 9-5. So 3 players through to the last 16, and yet the last 64 round isn't over yet. One match still going there. Chang Junlin, he leads Skylar Woodward 6-4 on Table 2, where in general today the going has been really, really slow.
Yeah, not having a shot clock won't help, because sometimes the players, you can waste a bit of time overthinking certain situations, and that's what pressure does. That's what the environment. Quite funny really, because the crowds around Table 1 and 2 are still there, but they are not as deep as they was 20 minutes ago when SVB was on there. I'm sure they've gone out for a drink and a little bit of food. I'm sure they'll be back.
Well, the vibe when SVB goes out of a tournament in America is rather like the vibe when Ronnie O'Sullivan goes out of a snooker tournament. It's a big story, but there's always a tinge of sadness. There you can see confirmation on Table 2. Chang Junlin 6-4 up on Skylar Woodward, who has got Mosconi Cup implications on his mind.
As does Oscar Dominguez. He trails 6-2. Trying to make something happening here.
Little bit of news for you if you want to stick with this stream after this match is over. You're in for yet another treat. On Table 1 it will be Tyler Steyer, another chasing the Mosconi Cup, up against the first man from Europe to book his place on the European team in Las Vegas in December, Joshua Filler. Steyer Filler coming up on this table after this.
Can he cut this ball in the side? No, he can't. So it's the hook. And that is a fine job indeed. Oh, he's in trouble. Can go 2 rails. But how do you get it safe? He's going airborne. There's not a lot of landing space. So does he have to land this on top of that 2 ball?
This is like a jumbo jet landing on a mountain airstrip. And no casualties there, although the 2 has been left. Here's a trivia question for you, Carl, which involves you. When you got to the final of the US Open, can you remember who you beat in the last 32? If you can't remember, I definitely won't be able to.
No, of course I can't remember. Why do I remember something like that? I'm going to say Skylar Woodward.
I'll try and find out, actually, for my own curiosity.
Talking of Skylar Woodward, he's just lost another rack over on table 2. Chang Jung Lin, 7-4. Chang, what a quality player he is. Be no surprise to see him lifting the trophy in a couple of days' time. And the man who still holds the trophy, still going strong. Can Biado retain the title? Didn't play the bank, played the cue ball, and just look at the cue ball. This cue ball is sickening. It's so good.
I'll let you off with a trivia question, of course. It was a different format then. It was pure double elimination, wasn't it? So there was no last 32.
Well, I didn't even know that, so what chance have we got?
Your blushes are spared.
Well, no surprise, always taking his time here, because how do you hit the 2? Well, you just don't. What he's tried to do there is just make the 3 not potable past the 6. So at least Carlo's got to try and get from the 2 to the 3 on the opposite side of the table. Not the worst of ideas, because well, he was in a world of trouble. Carlo's very clever, very devious on the pool table. Often plays shots what other people don't spot. Is this going to be one of them instances? He could play a good safety, lock up the cue ball behind the 4.
To be a tactical maestro at pool, which Biado is, you need to be a lateral thinker. It's akin to chess with balls. Think outside the box, or the break box as the case may be.
Yeah, is he looking at some sort of safety shot? while chasing the 9 ball somewhere. There's the safety, locks the cue ball tight on that 4 ball. This is going to be difficult to hit as well. Could maybe go 2 rails. If he can get that way, he could even pot it in that very pocket.
You're right though, glued up against the pink. Lots of juniors here today to compete in the SVB Junior Open, and that's one lesson you would give all of them. Don't just play safe, play the safest. Well, Carl, contact made on the 2, but no cushion hit.
Yeah, if you're wondering why he's got ball in hand after contact, the ball must strike a rail, or if you pocket a ball, that's fine. Just stops the players rolling up onto a ball, which you can do in the game of snooker. You don't have to hit a rail. I often wonder what snooker would be like, Phil, if you had to hit a rail after contact.
Well, there is one world ranking event every year, which is rather controversial actually, called the snooker shootout, where they are 10-minute matches, and whoever's in front after 10 minutes wins. Just 10 minutes, that's a real sprint for snooker. And the rule is in place there, you have to hit a cushion. And quite often, players forget.
What connection is the speed snooker shootout and myself, Phil? A little trivia question for you.
Well, the first one was held in Blackpool, your hometown.
Yeah, that's not the answer I was looking for. It's a little bit more difficult than that, Phil. Come on.
More tenuous. Go on then, Carl.
I won the speed pool tournament in Indonesia. It's a bit of a connection. See, that's not impressed you one bit.
Well, I thought my connection was better, the one about the hometown. Yeah, we played the first few shootouts in the famed Tower Circus in Blackpool, which has held a Moscone Cup.
Yeah, what a great venue that was as well. Been there to play in the Moscone Cup, been there to watch the snooker shootout, and I've took my boy to the circus there.
Yeah, the circus there has been going for years. The most famous character in it was Charlie Caroli, the clown. These two on clowns, they're both deadly serious. And I think it will be hard to split them.
Yeah, last year's semi-final that these two players played was a classic, wasn't it? Or he led that match. Biado, what a fight back he did last year in that semi-finals.
What an achievement it would be to successfully defend. Of course, he's still got an awful lot of pool to go before then. From here, he has to win this match and 4 others against top-class, world-class opposition. But I think he's trending in the right direction, and certainly his break-off is. At the start of the week, he was struggling with that, not now. So, let me give you some other scores. Just one match still going in the last 64. Chang Junlin is now on the hill against Skylar Woodward at 8-4. In the last 32, Lee van Corteza leads Copin-Yi 5-4. Max Lechner 6-3 up on Jonas Suto Camino. Kopin Chung 6-3 up on Neil Svein. Yanni Uski, who came into the last 32 on the back of 2 consecutive 9-0 victories. He's 7-7 with Abdullah Al Yusuf, and Eklund Kachi 5-2 up on Duong Quoc Hoang from Vietnam. And just a word on that last 64 match on table 2. If Chang Junlin does seal victory, that really does strengthen Oscar Dominguez's claim on an automatic spot in the US Mosconi Cup team, because he was ahead of Skylar Woodward in the rankings anyway. He was number 2 coming into this tournament. But of course he could still be scuppered, Dominguez, by the likes of Greg Hogue and Tyler Steyer. Not inconceivable though, at the end of today we will know the 3 USA players automatically qualified. We know one already, Shane Van Boning. We might know the other 2. Now Mosconi Cup thoughts for Biado or Naoyuki Oi. Mind you, if ever Asia had a team in a match like that, these 2 could well feature. And what a formidable continental outfit that would be, Team Asia, Cole.
Yeah, kind of glad I'm not playing if that ever happens. Don't want to face them boys, would you? Carlo's probably looking at a combination here. It can be made, it's not dead set. I think that's why he's walked around there, just to get a better feel of the shot. Or he plays the bank and misses it.
Or it was like a greyhound around the table there to see whether a gap had been left to chip the one ball into the pocket. I don't think it has. The gap was there, but for Oi, collision with the 7 could have been harmful. In the end, he's okay. He's got a clear shot on the 2.
Can he swing the cue ball round the table in between the brown 7 and the black 8? That's the gap he's playing for. He needs to slow down. Oh, he's going to be happy with that one. Good shot.
on table 2. Chang Junlin at the table with just the 9-ball left. The decisive 9-ball. He misses the bank. Skylar Woodward has life. It's 2-2 on table 1, of course. Drama, Carl. Drama.
Yep, he's still alive, 8-5. If you can slot this home. We've seen them comebacks before. Winner breaks as well. The break's a lot tougher, in fairness. Needs to stay still. Is it there? Oh, it's not there. He's missed that by a way. There's the handshake. He's seen enough. Chang Junlin, he's through. Skylar Woodward is out.
And that means the door to Mosconi Cup selection could be open. Could be open for Tyler Steyer and for Greg Hogue from Tulsa, Oklahoma. Not very well known, but he's beaten Omar Al-Shaheen today. And if he could possibly go on and beat Mark Bosch to Bosch on table 19 shortly, suddenly Greg Hogue, the Oklahoman, could have his dreams become reality. I was reading online, when he was 15 years of age, he played Willie Mosconi, who was then 70, in an exhibition in Tulsa. It was a 9-ball exhibition, and a 15-year-old Greg Hogue beat the great man 5-3. Now, all these years later, could he possibly be in the Mosconi Cup? What a fairy tale that would be.
Yeah, that is awesome. What a story that is you've pulled out the bag there, Philip. Went over and watched the end of that match as well with Omar, because he's a funny character. He's Greg Hogue. He's a unique individual. So I wanted to see what he was about. I wanted to see if it was all fun and games. He can play. The last 4 racks that he won in that match, he played awesome. He can play. He doesn't look like he can play. He's got funny mannerisms around the table, but he knows what he's doing.
As does Carlo Biado. What a sweet pot that was. The cue was delivered so well.
Yeah, he possesses all the attributes, and that's why he's the defending champion. Plays his own style of game. He's got a funny little cue action as well as Biado. Kind of stabs his way around the table, but the biggest attribute he possesses is his cue ball. His cue ball control is brilliant.
Well, he's won a couple of titles in 2022. The US Open 8-ball, lower profile than this, but still takes some winning. And he also won the 10-ball singles in the Southeast Asian Games this year. In 2017, Cole, when he won the World 9-Ball Championship, he was voted the Philippines Sportsman of the Year.
Like this to keep rolling, it's not, so he's got to come twice across, but the angle he would like would be kind of where the 8-ball is, so he's got to just come above the 8-ball. Yeah, there you see it coming back over. He's got to play a good shot here though. He's got to really cue this well. He's got to get back up for the 7. Does he draw it and try and go to the right hand side of the 8 as we look at it now? Or does he play a high ball and swing it around? That's what he's looking at now. Come one rail over towards that line where his cue was. Maybe he has to go that way, because if he goes forward he might hit the 8 or 3 rails. Got to get into the cue ball here. Avoid the scratch. Oh my word. Just look at that for the shot.
A liquid pool. Get that on the highlight reel. He's played like a champion in this rack. In goes the 9 ball. Nothing more than he deserved. For the 3rd time, Carlo Biado hits the front. It was 1-0, it was 2-1, and now it is 3-2. So, just last 32 matches to give you the scores on now. The last 64 is in the books. Lee Van Corteza leads Kopin Yi 7-4. Max Lechner 6-3 up on Jonas Suto Camino. 7-4 for Kopin Chung over Niels Feijen. 8-7 for Abdullah Al Yusuf of Kuwait over Yanni Uski. Al Yusuf on the hill. Eklan Kachi 6-2 up on Duong Kwok Hwang. Shi Chia Chen, who beat Albin Auschen a little earlier, yesterday in fact, in the tournament. He's on the hill against Oscar Dominguez at 8-3. Carlo Biado we know about. And Konrad Yuzhushin, he's on the hill against Sanyan Pilovanovic at 8-6. What a difference the way he's breaking, Carl, and the way we saw Fedor Gorsh break earlier on.
Yeah, consistently potting the one in the side is a lot harder than it looks. If you play pool, if you've got access to a table, try it out, put the 9 on the spot with a template from the break box and see how hard that actually is. It's not easy.
Another match has gone hill-hill. Yanni Uski has won the 16th rack against Abdullah Al Yusuf. 8-8. That's on table 21.
Yeah, in his last 2 matches, he's not had this type of pressure. He's gone 9-0, 9-0, and now he's got a hill-hill.
Table 23, Alexander Kazakis has had little time to celebrate that famous win over Shane Van Boning. He's back into the melting pot on table 23 against Thomas Kaplan from Poland.
Perfect angle here for Carlo. Float off the 1 rail probably. Going back down towards the 6, that kind of route. Could even spin 2 rails. Yeah, he spanned 2 rails. Play for the purple 5 on the right. Inside pocket. Love watching his game, Phil. I really like watching Carlo go about the table layout time and time again.
Yeah, he looks after himself, doesn't he, Carlo Biado? 38 years of age. He'll actually be 39 in a couple of weeks' time. Looks younger than that. Not a grey hair in sight. He's given a few opponents grey hairs, though. Never happy to be plain ball warriors, the Filipinos, always playing with side, always playing inventive and effective shots. This is impressive for me. For the first time, he has a 2-rack gap. Carlo Biado leads Naoyuki 4-2. What's also impressive for me about Biado, Carl, is the way he came through. Basically, he was from Rosario in La Union, and he started playing pool when he was 13 years of age. He actually worked as a caddy on the Villamor Air Force Base golf course there, and he used to play pool in the evenings, became very proficient at it, and soon realised that he could earn a nice few quid, either in money matches or in tournaments, and it's gone from there. That was 25 years ago when he took up the game, and now he's been a world champion. He's been a US Open champion. As for Naoyuki, well, he's been an internet sensation with some of those interviews he's done after victories. Always makes me chuckle. I think he would be pretty animated if he won this match tonight and we interviewed him, but he's got a long way to go and a tough task ahead.
It's a dry break, a little bit thin on the one ball. If you hit it a little bit too thin, you can see where the cue ball goes. It goes lower down near the corner pocket, and that often results in a bad split. Oh, he's not got a lot to work with here. Looks quite messy. That's why he's locking the cue ball up on them 2 balls. Nicely done. I think he was trying to break the 8 away from the 4, so the 4 ball went a little later on.
While he's working things out, I can tell you Lee Van Cortez on the hill against Kopin Yi at 8-4. What a day's work that would be, Carl. Victories over Jason Shaw and then Kopin Yi, both of them comfortably.
Yeah, it's a tough section that Cortez has had. He's another one, he's a little bit like Biado, quite an unusual cueish, sort of stabs his way around the table, but Filipinos, they play the game different, don't they? They see things that us mere mortals don't. What's he attempting here? Yeah, it was tight. Oh, he's going to break the ball out. He didn't want that. That was a bit of an insurance policy later on. Naoyuki will be delighted that Biado has broke these balls away. Look at this, here comes the cue ball. And Naoyuki, you could see with his arm. not been a great day for Team America. We lost SVB. We lost Skylar Woodward. We lost Oscar Dominguez. So Tyler Steyer will be playing Joshua Filler. And Greg Hogue. What a story, Greg Hogue. If Greg Hogue can beat Mark Beisterbosch on table 19, he may well just qualify for the Mosconi Cup, Phil. What a story that would be. A complete unknown in professional pool on the circuit.
Yes, and he's hardly played any tournaments in the qualifying process. He won a small event at the Sandcastle in Edison, New Jersey. That gave him some points, and here he's picking up major points. As soon as those two balls were split, Carlo Biado anticipated his fate. Oh, he's sticking in there. It's now only 4-3, Biado's lead. When Carlo Biado did win the World 9-Ball Championship in 2017, who did he beat in the final? A certain fellow countryman by the name of Roland Garcia, who's also through to the last 16. He's beaten Wojciech Szewczyk a while ago now, 9-6. So the Filipinos doing pretty nicely, thank you. As for the other scores, Max Lechner 7-3 up on Jonas Suter Camino. Koping Chung 7-4 up on Niels Feijen. It remains Naoyuki and Abdullah Al Yusuf 8-8. Well, it doesn't. Naoyuki, just this second, has spotted the decisive 9-ball. The thin is through. The Kuwaiti is out. Well, the breaking in this match so far has been very good, but that turned out to be dry.
You can snip this one in, Biado. You can just see the potting angle, just a little bit of the yellow 1-ball sticking out. Controlling the cue ball is where it may cause some problems for Carlo.
Another result call. Konrad Jezushin has beaten Sanyan Pilovanovic 9-7. He had 4 break-in run-outs in that match. Pilovanovic tried his level best to fight back into it. But in the end, Jezushin crossed the line. And we've talked an awful lot today about the US Mosconi Cup situation. If one of the middle-ranked Europeans were to win this title, the likes of Jezushin or Naoyuki, someone like that, suddenly they would vault into the European Mosconi Cup picture. Mario He falls into that category as well.
Yeah, he obviously he's going to go for the pot. So let's see what he can do with this cue ball. Well, did you see the cue ball? It must have hit the point 3 or 4 times. Lucky to stay up. How many times did it hit the points here?
He played that with left hand side to promote the pot, but of course that took the cue ball closer to the pocket, and you're right, Carl. He was looking disgusted, as though he'd had bad luck, but okay, deprived of ideal position on the 2, yes, but that could so easily have dropped. On the table nearest our commentary box, Joshua Fuller is practicing in readiness for the next match here on table 1 against Tyler Steyer.
Didn't go in clean. But they're always awkward then. That shot there is one of the worst shots on a pool table. You can't see the pocket. You know you've got to hit it thin. So after fractionally avoiding the scratch and then potting that really good 2-ball, Biado now on the threshold of a 2-rack lead again. A few times in his early appearances on these streaming tables, he dropped short of position, especially when coming off cushions, but that's been ironed out now. Used to the table, and this is a man who is used to winning, and he's certainly on course to win this one. He leads Naoyuki 5-3. I can tell you, Lee Van Corteza, Carlo Biado's fellow countryman, has completed victory over Ko Pin Yi. What a day for Corteza. Max Lechner on the hill against Jonas Suter Camino at 8-3. 7-5 now, Ko Ping Chung and Niels Svein. 7-4 it is Eklund Kachi over Duang Kwok Huang. Early stages, in fact, no racks on the board for FSR, Francisco Sanchez Ruiz against Wu Kunlin. John Morra against Chang Junlin. Or Gregory Hogue against Mark Bosch. On table 23 though, Alexander Kazakis, he was on a high after beating Shane Van Boning. Now needs to get level-headed again and put all of his efforts into his last match of the day. Well, he's 2-1 up on Thomas Kaplan. So this is just a quick look over onto table 2. Francisco Sanchez Ruiz against the little-known player from Chinese Taipei, Wu Kunlin. Wu Kunlin. Can tell you, Gregory Hogue has won the opening rack against Mark Bosch. If you're into
fairy tale sporting stories, you'll be keenly monitoring that one. Have you seen Wu play before, Carl?
Not really. When I was over there watching Greg earlier on, he was on one of the tables near. I was having a little look, so can't say. Yeah, good shot there from Sanchez. Had to turn the ball over.
The going really has been quite pedestrian on table 2 today. This is only the 4th match on that table. Bear in mind we started at 10 o'clock local time. And it will be the final match on that table because there's no more action to be placed there. There is one match in the last 32 yet to begin, and that's a cracker between Joshua Filler and Tyler Steyer, but that will come on to table 1 at the conclusion of Biado and Oi. By the way, some more details on the Konrad Juzhin Sanyan Perlovanovic match. Good standard there. Juzhin ran 4 racks from the break. Perlovanovic ran 3. As always, we'll keep you right up to date with all of the scoring developments on table 2. You can see this game, of course, on the Matchroom Pool YouTube channel, as you can all of the table 2 action. Now though, both players back in the arena on table 1. Biado looking to press home the advantage.
Didn't hit him too clever.
From the moment he made contact there with the blue 2 ball, it was patently obvious the cue ball wasn't going to get behind the 8 as intended.
Opted for the safety shot. Often players look for a wall of balls or a cluster. That just gives them a higher percentage of laying the hook. And I think Oi's done okay there. First match tomorrow on table 1. Just had confirmation. It's going to be Lee Van Corteza versus Chris Melling.
Like it. I've described the Filipinos collectively already this week as the kicking kings, and that was another example. Time and again when they escape from a hook, they do so precisely, perfectly.
Hard to see how he's going to get this safe. He's kind of just guaranteeing the hit, probably trying to play some sort of distance shot. Yeah, that's what he's tried. Needs to miss the 6. Well, at least it's bumped it that side. Could have been worse. This is a little bit of a similar feel to the Gorse Tyler Steyer match we did before, Phil. Bit of a slow burner. Kind of waiting to see if we can pull it back, but Biado just keeps stretching out in front, and we know how that match finished before, don't we?
Yeah, I do see the similarity. I will say, I think so far the scoreline reflects who has been the better player. Biado has produced some really good pool. Not that Oy has made a load of glaring mistakes or anything like that. You were talking before, Carl, about the Filipinos and how they play the game, and they think so clearly about what to do, and their tactical awareness is second to none. Another example there. They are visionaries, aren't they?
They really are. They just play the game different. It's hard to explain why or how, but they just do. They do things different. They see shots that others don't. Oh, he's going to have to come with something good here. I mean, just hitting the 2 would be a start. Had to arc the cue ball. Unfortunately, just cut the point.
Another result for you. Max Lechner has beaten Jonas Suto Camino 9-4. So we have 2 Austrian players in the last 16, even though Albin Auschen, at the top of the tree when it comes to Austrian pool, has been eliminated.
Kazakis has kept up the form from where he left off with his great win before. He's 3-1 up over Kaplan. Niels Fire clawing back the match now, trails 7-6 to Ko Ping Chung. Ko Ping Chung, well, his older brother lost just a little while ago. Ko Ping is out, he lost to Corteza.
The way he played that cue ball told us immediately that the The purple 5 will pass the 9 ball to the middle pocket. Has to be treated with respect though, this especially with hampered queuing. And now 6-3, very much on the cards.
Played that with a little left top, just to get that cue ball coming back down in a straight line, and he's perfect. This for a 3-rack lead.
And I don't know about you, Carl, but I really like what I see. Nothing flash from Carlo Biado, just functional. Excellent when it comes to tactics. Clear thinking, hard to beat. He leads Naoyuki 6-3. Ko Ping Chung 7-6 over Niels Fine, as Carl said. Eklund Kachi still on the hill against Duong Kwok Hwang at 8-4. 2-0 Francisco Sanchez Ruiz over Wu Kun Lin over on table 2. John Morrow has taken the opening rack against Chang Chun Lin. John Morrow from Canada, great story. He was a right-handed player, hurt his shoulder. Now he started playing left-handed in a world-class way. Brilliant. Mark Bosch, he's 2-1 up now on Gregory Hogue after losing the first rack. And Alexander Kazakis 3-1 up on Thomas Kaplan. So all matches in the last 32 are either complete or underway, apart from Joshua Filler against Tyler Steyer, which is next here on the main table.
Eight balls blocking the path, can't pot it, gonna have to play a push. But at least he made the 1 ball, that was a lot better, that break. Looks to be a tricky push out at the minute. Because obviously wherever he pushes to, over to the left, you leave a pot. So is he rolling up to the top rail for a kick? Well, he's left a piece of this ball. I think Oil will play this. I think he'll just play it into the 4 and get the cue ball, rather. Back to where it is now. The other problem with this is you're going to leave an easy kick. So I've always thought about that. Sure if he's hooked on all the ball. If he is, he can still kick off the back rail.
Just thinking, Carl, there's a very good likelihood that we will see a new name on the Barry Berman Trophy this year for the US Open. Carlo Biado's name already there, so too Joshua Filler. But the vast majority of the players who are reaching the last 16 have yet to win this wonderful event.
It's going to be an easy shot for Oi if it wants to just split the balls. You can roll the object ball, the blue 2, over to the left. Send the cue ball over to the right.
Just to put a figure on what I was saying there, 8 players are through to the last 16 already, and none of them have won this tournament before.
No, I think it's all. Is it only Biado and Filler that are left that have won the event? Is that what?
Yeah, I think that's it.
Joshua Filler's going to be playing Tyler Steyer. Josh is actually just practicing about 15 feet to mine and Phil's left. Practicing the break, he is. Carlo can kick this ball in. Very good at that shot, you know. Anytime he's got one of them one-railers where you've got to kick it in and slide around the table, seems to perform it at a high level. I think he can just see enough of this 3-ball.
Yeah, he was looking at the path of the cue ball anxiously. It's just about had enough juice, as you can see from that camera angle.
Cue ball's going to be travelling. Oh, look at this. Look at this. This is the type of shot where he excels. He just finds the right angle.
Left high school early, did Carlo Biado, to pursue his career in pool. But even though he left education, he's a master of geometry. Masterful in that regard. The Matchroom boffins have been hard at work, working out the European standings for the Mosconi Cup, and we can officially tell you, if you didn't know already, if you hadn't done the sums, Francisco Sanchez Ruiz over on table 2 at the moment, taking on Wu Kunlin. He will be in the US battle, going into battle for Europe. Here, battling away, Carlo Biado, and looking mighty fine. Yeah, so just to repeat what I said there before, Francisco Sanchez Ruiz will be in the European team to take on the US in the Mosconi Cup at Bally's Casino on the famed Las Vegas Strip from November the 30th to December the 3rd. Francisco Sanchez Ruiz will join the other automatic qualifier so far, Joshua Filler. That's a good 1-2 punch.
Well, he's a rookie. He's never played in a Mosconi Cup, so Team Europe will have a rookie in their team.
Yeah, he's a rookie in terms of the Mosconi Cup, undoubtedly, and that's a different environment to anything he's experienced before. But in terms of individual accomplishment over the last couple of years, he fully deserves to be there, doesn't he?
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I felt 3 months ago, I think we was at one of the events, and I think I mentioned he'll definitely You can kind of just get a feel of it, can't you, when a player's on the mad one and winning tournaments, going deep.
If the Philippines had a geographical relocation to either North America or Europe, I think Carlo Biado would play in the Mosconi Cup. I've been very impressed with the way he's performed so far here. It's not been sensational or fireworks, anything like that, but although he's exasperated there, generally speaking, he's been precise, and I think most importantly, he's been clever.
He prides himself on his cue ball, so hitting the green six there will annoy him. He'll be fuming inside. Could have been worse, could have had no shot. At least you can still pot the ball.
Repositioning his feet there, I noticed, moving a little further away from the table. Needs the cue ball to stop.
Yeah, when you don't get the cue ball where you want, you start to chase position. So it was the previous shot that was the bad one, not that one.
That wasn't his best either, was it?
No, he's got a healthy lead. It's a big rack. It's to get on the hill. Don't want to start causing yourself headaches now, do you?
The one word you rarely associate with Carlo Biado when it comes to safety play is clumsy, but that was clumsy.
Ko Ping Chung is the first man on the hill, 8-7 over Niels Fayen. Eklund Kapchi's still battling away. That match is, I think it's 8-6.
It is Carl, it was 8-4 to Kachi. Duong from Vietnam refusing to go quietly.
Going back to Francisco Sanchez Ruiz, it's a beautiful feeling when, you know, when it's all been confirmed, and he will know he's in the team now. So coming into this event, obviously winning this event is your priority, but getting in the team, it takes a huge weight off your shoulders. You know, you're delighted, you've been told you're in, you're going to Vegas.
Yes, and by getting into the European Mosconi Cup team, he follows in the footsteps of his good pal, mentor in many respects, David Al-Qaedi.
Greg Hogue. He trails 3-1 over Mark Beisterbosch. He needs to win that match to give himself hope of automatic spot in the team. Biado's faltering in this rack, isn't he, Phil? He just took his foot off the pedal a little bit. Wasn't easy.
Yeah, when he hit this, I thought he'd hit it thick. That's exactly how it turned out. Although, when the 5-ball hit the jaws of the pocket, he looked surprised that it stayed on the table. And the one thing about Oy, even though he's well behind, it's not because he's missed pots.
Wants an angle, doesn't want to land straight on the 7. Any angle will do, that is fine.
The one thing I worry about Naoyuki, and it was displayed on that last shot, on pressure balls he does have a tendency to dip the shoulder into it. You could possibly see it here. The 8 down the rail shouldn't be an issue.
Just a quick update on the junior event. The SVB Junior Open 64 juniors started. The playing single elimination race to 7s. And they're at the last 16 stage. There is 5 players that have qualified for the quarterfinals. Quarterfinals will be tomorrow at 10 AM. Semi-finals at 1 PM tomorrow. Khalid Al-Ghalmadi, remember him from the European Open? He beat Skylar Woodward, 17 years of age. He's into the quarterfinals.
No surprise there. Khalid looked a world-class player, a polished player at all ages. By the way, while we were talking about the juniors, the man is already established in the game. Naoyuki Oy, he's back to trailing only 7-4. The Biado mistake was jumped upon.
He looked quite tired there, sat in his chair, I thought, Naoyuki Oy. Joey Tate, the man who nearly beat SVB earlier on. Well, he's been beaten in the junior event. That junior event, he's stacked. It is not an easy tournament to win.
Not a direct pot available on the 2, but the 2-8 combo is sitting up and begging to be knocked in. And from that, big things could happen. Oh, not good. Not good, Oy. I used the word in the previous rack call. I'll use it again there. That was clumsy.
Yeah, it was clumsy. Very clumsy indeed.
You're talking about the juniors. I'm just watching a lovely interaction here. Joshua Filler practicing away, and he's just a rack with one of the junior players. The young man looks absolutely over the moon. Good on you, Josh.
Yeah, if you're on Instagram, follow me on Instagram. It's just my name, Carl Boys. I'm going to put a picture of that on my story. So if you want to see it, head over to my Instagram now. And I'm also going to put another picture on. Do you see that young 7-year-old who's wearing the massive shoes, Phil?
Yeah, absolutely. Still can't keep my eyes off that practice table. What a great thing for the youngster to be able to practice with Josh Filler. You'll never forget that.
Yeah, that's the beauty of what this has done. You know, it's brought the juniors into this arena. They're playing on tables next to former champions, future champions, legends, and now Josh is just having a game with a young kid.
A young kid, by the way, who's been here all day. I've been noticing him practicing. He loves it. And Josh himself, only 6 or 7 years removed from being a junior also. Now he's very much the senior, the big man on campus.
Yeah, the young man who's playing with Josh right now, I seen him earlier on. I was going to Starbucks, so I noticed he had his SVB top on, that they're all wearing for the event, and I said, "Oh, how'd you get on, pal?" He went, "I lost 7-0. I said, "All right, there's always next year, pal."
Well, there's always next year for the loser of this match. We thought it would be Naoyuki, but he's now 7-5 down and renewed hope. Now there's that practice frame I was telling you about. Josh Filler. What a great ambassador for the sport. It's only 10 or 15 minutes of his time, but how gracious he's being doing this.
Don't be missing them, Josh. You can't be missing them 9 balls. Oh, he's taking the Michael out of you, Josh. That's 1-0. Oh, good scenes there. Unscrew your cue, buddy. You've beat him.
Yeah, that's the second high five that Josh has given that lad.
Gets a lot of bad press, does Josh, but nice guy. That's a good break. He's going to have to do something juicy with this 2-ball, though. Maybe he could billiard the 4-ball in. Controlling the 2 is difficult. Safety's quite easy. You can swing the ball around, get it towards the 5.
The Gregory Hogue Mosconi Cup dream is fast receding. He's 5-1 down to Mark Bosch. And in this winner breaks format, Bosch has won enormous advantage. His break off when it's working is devastating.
Yeah, if Gregory goes on to lose that match, he's going to need a wild card pick off JJ.
European legend out. Neil Svian has been beaten 9-8 by Ko Pin Chung. So Ko, one of 3 brothers involved in this tournament, and he's gone the deepest. Also, Eklund Kachi, he's beaten Duong Kwok Hwang 9-6.
Good things can happen hitting this ball full. Not today, though. 7-5, all at the table. Biado's fell off the pace here a little bit, hasn't he? He's just He's not really closed this match out like he usually does. You can see Johan Chua on the left of the screen. Talented young Filipino pool player. Right, I've just uploaded the picture, Phil, on my Instagram of the young boy with them big shoes on so he can reach the table. Genius idea. I think you could have done with some of them back in the snooker days.
Absolutely. Oh dear me, and after that, Naoyuki could do with a lift. The 2-ball going astray. That could hurt. Hurt in a major way.
He was so scared of contacting the 3-ball with his cue. That's put unwanted spin on the cue ball and forced the mistake.
The geometry teacher finding the gap again. And when he gets into a position like this, he's so astute, you can't imagine he's going to foul it up.
Yet again, the cue ball has let him down because he's landed straight. He needed an angle there. An angle was guaranteed.
Let me down after bigging him up in such a way and praising him about his positional play being so on the button, and then he does that. It is retrievable, but now power will be required. And with power comes the possibility of miscalculation.
I've just had an idea, Phil. This could turn into a bit of little undercover reporting from where I am. So I'm going to do a little video. A lot of the pool fans don't know what the legend Phil Yates looks like. I might do a little video, show the fans our view, where we're sat.
Don't post it until after 9 o'clock though, after the watershed. Come on, Carlo. Yeah. Necessary traction on the cue ball. Down it goes, and from there he's done really, really well. Four pots away from getting on the hill.
Yeah, he's done well there, hasn't he? Done very well indeed. The legend Phil Yates is now on the story. Head over to my Instagram to see what the voice looks like. Still not happy though, is he? He's landed straight, but he's okay. He can just, could even leave the cue ball there, pull it back a foot, whatever.
it's been one of those matches. Okay, it was 2-2, but Biado has always been, for me, the better player. And yet, the way things can go in this game, at the end, we could still get the verdict, but if Biado can tuck this rack away, he'd be looking very good indeed. At 3 up with 4 to play.
Yeah, I think he'll just be doing everything in his power to close this match out now. I think it's a match he would rather forget. That goes in a little thick, but from that angle, Pocket will always swallow the ball, and this simple 9, and he's finally got himself on the hill.
Yes, there it goes. He's not there yet. There will be no complacency. He will be taking nothing for granted. He's far too experienced for that. But Naoyuki now has no room for manoeuvre. Possible 4 racks left. The Japanese star has to win them all. Just looking down the annals of this great championship. Of course, it began, as Carl said, in 1976. The inaugural winner was Mike Siegel. For the early years, it was dominated by American players until in 1994, Efren Reyes captured the title, beating Nick Varner in the final in Chesapeake, Virginia.
One good break. Nine balls tracking, but it's not going to go in. It's going to be dry, so our defending champion still got work to do. More misery for Gregory Hogue. He trails 6-1 against Bite the Bosch. Chang Jung-Lin, he's 4-1 up over John Morrow. Chang Jung-Lin, well, he would have been many people's pick to win this title. Always sort of goes deep, doesn't he, Phil, in these big majors. He's a proper player.
Hard as nails. Mind you, so is Biado. A fact of which Naoyuki has been reminded over the last 13 racks. Mind you, it has been a match where, although the standard has been good, we have seen a few dry breaks cropping up. That has been a constant feature throughout the day. Indeed, throughout the 4 days of competition here on Table 1.
Going into the rail first. He needs a lot of love here, doesn't he? And that's okay. He's still in this match. I know he needs 4 racks, but something about an 8-6 where it feels nearly like a hill. Well, many matches have been won from 8-6 down. I think the excitement of the SVB Kazakhstan matches took it out of the crowd. It was packed over there before. Brilliant atmosphere.
The 8-ball blocking the path to the potting angle on the 1, but the 1 is so close to the pocket. Cushion first is available. So too his position on the 2, and now the table opens up.
Yeah, he'll know he's still in this game. Better take care of this rack first, of course. You can see Kazakhstan just in the distance. He's 5-4 up over Kaplan. Gregory Og has won another rack. It's now 6-2. Chang has also won a rack, 5-1.
It stays there, and the tip of Naoyuki's cue hits the carpet. He can't quite believe that hasn't dropped. He didn't hit it well though. Only himself to blame. That wasn't an equipment failure, it was a player failure. Look at this.
Yeah, how on earth has he missed this one? Looks in all the way, but it stays over the pocket. So Biado has got 6 balls left to book a place into the final 16 and keep the hopes alive of retaining the title that he won last year, and also beating the Ukioi again. Beat him last year in the semis.
Yes, that was 11-9. It was hard fought. This, not quite so hard fought, but he'll be relieved to cross the line nevertheless.
Where's the cue ball, Phil? Where's the cue ball? What has he done here? What on earth has Carlo Biado just done? The last 4 or 5 racks, his cue ball has started to wobble, and he's not got the cue ball where he wanted. Something he prides his game on, but to do that, Phil.
If Carlo Biado loses this match and consequently loses the title because of that, he might have sleep deficit. I'm sure Naoyuki Oi, who's now got a second wind, can't quite believe it.
he's jacked up. Always lands where you don't want it.
Just tweaked on a little bit of side there to keep the cue ball in mid-table. What a time to scratch from what was, for Carlo Biado, an elementary shot. The match continues. Naoyuki isn't finished yet. He thought he was, but he isn't. It's 8-6, and of course, he gets to break off in rack 15. So the number of matches in the last 32 dwindling down now. Francisco Sanchez Ruiz, if you're just joining us, he has been mathematically confirmed as the number 2 player to qualify for Europe in the forthcoming Mosconi Cup. So FSR will make his debut for Europe in the game's highest profile event. Well, he's in action on table 2 at the moment, and it's 3-3. Sanchez Ruiz and Wu Kunlin. Actually, as I speak, Sanchez Ruiz has taken a 4-3 lead. Chang Junlin, he's 5-1 up on John Morra. Mark Bosch 7-2 up on Gregory Hogue. Alexander Kazakis, conqueror of Shane Van Boning earlier today, he's 6-4 up on Thomas Kaplan. Nothing doing there.
To the delight of Biado. He's still got work to do. It's a messy layout, isn't it? He'll be playing a push out for a shot. Carlo's got to stay in the right frame of mind here. He knows he should be sat in Starbucks with a coffee and a piece of cake. This match should be over.
Now, I know it's getting late on the other side of the Atlantic, either in the UK or in continental Europe. Here, though, if you're just going back from work in the US, Canada, Mexico, and you want to see some world-class pool, well, you'll be heartened to know this isn't the last match on table 1 today. We've got one more for you. And what a contest it promises to be. Joshua Filler against Tyler Steyer. USA versus Europe. With big Mosconi Cup implications, certainly for Steyer. So, Filler, Steyer, heading your way around 5 or 6 minutes after the conclusion of this contest.
He was trying to get the cue ball behind the 5. He was asking a lot, to be honest. What's Carlo faced with here? Has he got enough pace? Well, it's the wrong line anyway. But the 8 ball has blocked Oy from seeing this one. I think he's going to have to kick off the back rail up behind it. was a good effort, wasn't it? You could see the plan. You could see what he was trying to achieve. Carlo's going to have to play a breakout shot. Unless the 2 ball goes past the 6 in the other corner. And that would only matter if he felt he could draw over into that little corner of the table. If not, he's going to go into these balls and make something happen. Maybe go forward into the rail, then bump the 6. Let's have a look. Can he finally close this match out? Yeah, that's the shot he's played. Nicely done. You just feel like one or two more good shots, and then this rack is all there to be taken.
Yes, more intricacy needed here. Looking good now, Carl, although I will put in a disclaimer. It was looking good in the last rack before he went in off.
Yeah, this is the shot where if it's going to go wrong for Oy, it will be now. As long as he can get on this 5 ball with an angle, just look where the 6, 7, 8 and 9 are sat. This would take a monumental effort to mess these up. This is the big shot coming up. And Carlo knows it. That looks good to me. He's fighting hard, isn't he? He's struggled a little bit today in the matches we've seen him play. He's playing most of his matches on the main tables. That's because he's the defending champion. Rightly so, he's earned that right. He doesn't want to give up his green jacket just yet.
And on that, in goes the green 6. Surely now, Naoyuki Oy's hopes hanging by a thread. He's definitely been the better player for me, Carlo Biado. Sometimes his break hasn't worked. He has scratched on the break. He had one glaring scratch from nowhere in the rack before this. But generally speaking, he's a deserved winner. Naoyuki Oy would love to win this US Open. He'll have to wait at least one more year. Are we going to see a repeat champion? Well, the answer is maybe, because Carlo Biado moves into the Sweet 16 with a 9-6 victory. What about those stats, Carl? What do you see in those?
Yeah, both players didn't break too well, didn't they? Similar stats there. Break and win the rack for Biado. Balls potted. Biado's pretty much not a million miles off double the amount of pots. Both missed 2 pots. Fairly even match, really.